Alright, so what's up everybody? Hello, welcome back to the stream. I just want to preface this before I get all completely started here that I actually hate this game. Not really hate, I'd say, just a strong disliking for. I don't really care for it. I own it on Xbox 360, which is how I'll be playing it today. I do also own it on PC. And the reason why I'm not playing it on PC is that it's not optimized for my computer. Being that if I try to stream and play the game at the same time, even on like the lowest settings, it just turns the entire stream into a slideshow. Everything on my end looks perfectly fine, 60 frames per second, but the feed going at the Twitch just turns into like 5 to 4 frames per second. I don't know why. That and Nier Automata tend to have they're like the two games that have problems with it. So I will be playing the Xbox 360 version instead. You know, like, it's really weird for Metal Gear Rising because it's an older game, and I can play newer games on PC full throttle, all graphical options, no problems whatsoever. Like I did Soul Calibur 6, that was cranked all the way up to full. Dragon Ball FighterZ, that was all the way up high. Metal Gear Solid 5 had everything full blown up. So it's something that's just not optimized with Metal Gear Rising, I should say. So enough prattle, let's get this going. This may also be a short stream tonight. Usually I stream for like about 2 hours or so, 2 to 3 hours, depending on how my back feels, and right now it's pretty bad shape. But I also have family members coming in from out of town. My sister is coming with her family and animals, dogs, and my brother and his wife and their dog are coming as well, so they're supposed to all show up tonight. So I might need to run and do things and help out even more than I have been. So it might be a short stream. We'll just keep an eye on it. But yeah, I am not a fan of this game at all. This is the game that made me kind of leery of Platinum Games. And I love the Bayonetta franchise. So this is the game that made me kind of realize that they don't produce nothing but hits. This is a misstep in my opinion. Because I played it at multiple times of development. Like when it came out, there was no blocking, no parrying whatsoever. Then they patched in a block button on the left trigger, which was great. That's when I started to really enjoy it. I actually did like this game for a little while. It's got some serious pacing issues for myself, for my taste. But then they patched it again, the final version, and they took out the block and added in a parry. So you have to parry everything, you just can't block and be defensive. You have to constantly be trying to parry things, which is not always successful, because there's certain attacks you just can't parry. So, yeah. But because it was either requested, I can't remember who did it, either T. Wallace or Solveron had requested that I play this game, so I'm gonna do it. Beat. I have DLC I didn't know. Options. Vibration off. Don't need my controller shaking at me. Captions are on. Okay, that looks all good. Play a tutorial. Yeah, why not? I haven't done this. I haven't played this game in a while. This is a game I come back to like about every year or so and try out and see if maybe my opinion of it has changed. I do the same thing for Super Mario Sunshine. And I don't like that game either. I know a lot of people do. They love it, and I just can't stand it.
Ben, let's begin with a quick warm-up, shall we? Check the Soliton radar on the upper right and head to the point marked on the display. You can jump over obstacles, but the ninja run will get you across them more quickly and easily.
Parkour! Everything is ninja run in this game. Jumping, running, all sorts of cool stuff.
Attack while in motion with the ninja run, you know. Swinging your blade while dashing, for example, or striking your foes with a sliding attack.
Hey, I turned off... Oh, come on, I turned off vibration. Oh, it's got to save. I see. The other problem I have with this game is story-wise, because this takes place after Metal Gear Solid 4. And for the ending of Metal Gear Solid 4, Raiden goes back to his human body. He's like, I'm never going to become a robot again. I'm going to stay with Rose for some reason. And yeah, and then like next thing you know, it's like 3 years later and Raiden's full cyborg again. Yes, Raiden may cry. I'm going to cry because I hate this game. It's got camera problems. You can't block. You have to parry everything. I'm playing on the Xbox 360 because, for whatever reason, the PC version is not optimized. I play it on PC and stream. Even on the lowest settings, it will turn into like 4 or 5 frames output to Twitch, although I'm seeing 60 on my side.
It is the keystone of your defense.
Also, Ronnie, what's up? Let me know if I need to adjust anything. I have no idea how the audio is for this so far during gameplay.
Draw foes in as close as possible and parry their blows to leave them exposed to counterattack.
Okay, perfect.
From your perspective, it will appear
So it sounds kind of loud at certain parts, so I have no idea. That's always the hardest part whenever you're doing a stream by yourself.
It's the perfect opportunity for you to carefully aim your strike, then slice your foe apart. Keep in mind, even you will not be able to parry every type of attack. Watch your foe's movements carefully.
I gotta figure out like how to roll back patches on Xbox 360. Because the first patch of this game was actually the best because it puts in a block button. Left trigger is your block. And it's awesome. You can sit there and take your time, be defensive, do whatever you want to do. And then they took it out and added in parries instead. Oh no. Well, that sucks.
3 years. We've come so far.
Was it just like lifting stuff or something like fall on you?
Sign of a strong leader, sir.
No. The will of a strong people.
Yeah, repetitive stress, repetitive lifting, I can do it.
Very able advisor.
Thank you, sir.
Your team
Probably just muscular is what I'm thinking. 'Cause, I mean, my case, like with me, is a rare thing.
Just doing our job, Mr. Prime Minister.
Wow, your hair is really, really terrible looking.
As opportunists.
Yeah, that would do it. I mean, you should have like a back brace or something at that weight. Anything like over 40, 50 pounds.
Perhaps I was wrong about these private military companies.
As I tell you now, as you're like
We
out of the job for the moment.
Provider, sir.
So hopefully you have like short-term disability or something.
These contracts do focus on security.
Yes, well, the security can mean many things.
So this guy is so valuable that they're riding him in a convoy of APCs, but he's not in one of the APCs. He's in an exposed limousine.
In the sheath.
Go figure.
Sometimes the threat of violence alone is a deterrent. Sometimes by taking a life, others can be preserved. It's the code the samurai lived by.
A soldier and a philosopher. You are full of surprises, Mr. Lightning Bolt.
I could say the same about you, Mr. Prime Minister.
With how you killed all your political opponents and set them on fire in front of their
What is
families.
happening?
Someone's blocking the lead vehicle. Hold on.
Yeah, if there's a convoy like that and somebody's blocking the way, you never stop the convoy. You drive through them, you drive around them, you drive on sidewalks. You do not stop. In actuality, they would have kept going, and they would have just opened up the 50 cal on this guy.
I said clear the road! We're authorized to use force if you do!
Oh wow, the frame rate sucks. And it is the frame rate for this version, because I have it on PC, it's like... these cutscenes are a solid 30 on PC.
Leopard 1, U-turn. Turning back.
You just slice one of our guys in half, we'll stand here and aim our guns at him. Well, he looks like Luca from Bayonetta. Just ignore that.
What is happening?
We got hit, sir. A cyborg.
Who's?
Exif comes up unaffiliated.
I'll notify all checkpoints. Get on money out of there.
Yes, sir.
They should have named this game like Metal Gear Stereotypes Accents Edition, Accent Rising.
We are going to die.
Stay calm.
Finally, some sane driving. I said, having friends who've been in Iraq and Afghanistan, like I said, like, especially Iraq, it's like, you do not stop the car, ever. If there's a red light, you go through it. You know, if there's people, if there's a preschoolers on parade on the sidewalk and you need to get out of the situation, you are running their bodies over. It's like, whatever you do, you do not stop. Even our president's own motorcade is the same way. I really want a sword that can do that, and just like slash things in half that it's like nowhere near me.
Let's get this over with.
Take out those hostiles. Raiden, you'll need to choose between light and heavy strikes to match the situation. Take self-repair units from your foes to replenish your own supply.
Kinda a little late for that, buddy.
The limo is in trouble. Get back there.
Is it in trouble or a double?
I'll add the limo to your solid down radar.
Like these old guys started shooting him.
Right, it's on the other side of that barricade.
Yeah, but I've never been down this way before. Let's see. Nope.
I have marked
Okay,
the
nothing there.
location on your Soliton radar.
It's like, that's another thing too, is like you don't really have a lock on. You do, but it doesn't auto-center you, so you can get hit by people off screen you can't see. And that's a big problem, because your camera's too close. You can solve it like Bayonetta, by basically having it back further. And that's how you'd solve the issue. Oh yeah, there's a YouTube channel I kind of started following. ETA Prime, as in like Transformers Prime. But yeah, he'd send all sorts of stuff there. The company actually sent him one of those, and he modded it right off. And it was really great review. It's the most honest review I have ever seen to date, which is why I followed the guy. And he's like, I have... Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, perfect. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Because he has like his own more expensive personal arcade machine. And then he compares it to the 1-Up Arcade, which I thought was brilliant. But yeah, it's cool that you put a Pi on there. I was not impressed by the one I got to play the other day. I mean, they say it's 3/4 size, but as I know personally, owning a Neo Geo 2-slot MVS Big Red arcade machine, that thing is like half size. No way in the world is that thing 3/4 size. Oh no, he's been disarmed. Oh yeah, definitely. The buttons I was not impressed with, but like I said, same guy, ETA Prime, said like, hey, you can switch these out for Sandwell parts, which is perfect. Because, I mean, I actually put a couple Sandwell buttons in my Neo Geo machine, my arcade machine, and I've also my custom Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 fight sticks have Sandwells as well. So it's good. It's cool that you can modify it, but people who are going to be buying this are not going to be like me, people who know how to fix and repair arcade machines. So I don't see them really thinking about doing that. So I'd definitely replace the stick with a different one, like a JLF, Sandwell JLF, put a bat top on it. If I were to buy one or have somebody gift it to me, which I would not expect.
What do you want with the Prime Minister?
I want him dead.
I will say I do like the cheesy dialogue in this game. I will give that a plus.
Africa's just getting a bit too peaceful.
What?
It's like, what? That doesn't make sense.
Business ain't been the same since they shut down SOP.
Like, why are you in a robot body
From the
again?
war economy. Huh. Well, some of us like that economy. How's an honest warmonger supposed to make a living?
Join a PMC, just like everyone else did in Metal Gear Solid 4?
Don't do it!
Yeah, so I've been kind of wanting to think about experimenting getting a Pi after my tweet kind of took off slightly about saying I want to punch people in the face who, legally, who always bring up, like, whenever you modify a console, you should just build a Pi instead for, like, 3 times the price. But, you know, I was thinking, like, Pi would be kind of neat to try to build one day. I've messed around with Nooks before, especially when I was at school and the place where I did my externship, they had a couple too, so I got to mess around with them, and I thought those were pretty cool. They had my Walmart, as you saw because I put up the picture, it had the Street Fighter 2 machine, and it had Missile Command? I didn't play Missile Command. But yeah, I've thought about kind of like just doing a Pi just to mess around with it, but not just as like a serious thing like, oh cool, I want to do this to be this, like, you know, I'm going to be a Pi enthusiast. It's like, no, just to try it out. They have one for like ETA Prime, same guy we're talking about. He just put up a video of like a $25 Pi and what it can do on RetroPie, so I'll have to watch it later. I haven't had the chance to watch it today. Okay, back to fighting a Metal Gear Ray. Duh.
Right, take out that UMG and get at them. Catch that missile before it blows.
Ah, I screwed it up. You can actually parry his feet.
Use blade mode to damage its armor. Use your ninja run to deflect those shots.
Listen to me backseat you how to do stuff. Oh, I've never seen that tail attack, which is why I didn't jump over it. That threw me off. I was like, what? Yeah, the only reason like I think about like just getting a Pi just to experiment with is because I'm really starting to get into like RetroArch, because it's finally became like more stable, which I can really finally starting to enjoy. So that's kind of got me interested about doing stuff like that. I've just gotten like more interested in emulators in like the past couple of months myself, so makes sense to kind of want to experiment around with it. Also, another thing that doesn't make sense about this is like you literally cut this thing in half, but it wouldn't make sense. I mean, especially how weapons work. Like right here, it's like I've magically cut through the entire thing with a 3-foot blade, and this thing is like 20 feet wide. Unless maybe it's like Dead Space where you can shoot stuff, which has like the coolest stuff ever they would do like engineering work with. Yeah, actually I talked with Saturn Memories. He came by my stream about a week or so ago, and we were talking about, he was telling me more about Metafin, and because I didn't quite understand, I'm not really good at command line stuff. He's like, oh no, just drag a queue right into a queue file and there you go. I'm like, oh crap. So that worked really well. So yeah, basically that's what I would have a Pi for as well. It's just basically is for PlayStation and Sega Saturn emulation, and probably 3DO as well, but I don't know how much space I would need for that. Just want to see if there's anything down here that I'm possibly missing.
Careful, Raiden. Keep that
Nope.
up and the whole building could collapse.
I didn't do anything.
Look for another way.
Keep that up. It's like, I'm just running and exploring, sir. Yeah, so RetroArch, I don't think it has Saturn in it yet.
There.
If it does, I haven't gotten it to work. I haven't tried it in a while, so I'd have to mess around with it again. I think it does, but like I said, I personally have not gotten it to work. But I should try another nightly build, because I do the nightly builds for it. So it's constantly improving and changing.
Do not let him out of your sight. You must catch him.
But if you ever need help setting up RetroArch, just let me know. I'll help you out, definitely, because I'm starting to mostly figure it out. Alright, here we go. This part, I actually... There's like a missile jumping sequence later on, after this fight, that I really enjoy, because it throws it right back to Project Echo. If you don't know what Project Echo is, it's one of my favorite anime movies of all time. Okay, I thought I had a certain move. I do, I just can't do it right now. Okay. Well, let me know, and I can hook you up.
Raiden, respond. Raiden?
I didn't know he was going to do that. Yeah, so for whatever it is you want to play on it, just let me know and I'll point you in the right direction. Something really easy. Because RetroArch does a lot of stuff, and I can even give you my BIOS set that I have just to save a lot of time. Because getting the BIOS is all set up to play things in RetroArch, is, in my opinion, is like the hardest part of getting it going. So yeah, so I can just like put a dump on my G drive of all the RetroArch BIOSes, so you can just copy that into your system folder wherever you install it, and you'll be all set. Oops, jumped too soon. My bad. Yeah, I think like the BIOSes I have can play just about everything under the planet, so it's like about 1.9 gigabytes total for the BIOSes I have, which is insane. Jeez, I did that again. You think I would have learned from last time? But here we are, repeating the same mistakes. By we, I mean me.
Use blade mode to take down those heavy missiles.
I want to know how they make missiles fire that slow. Okay, so I have like a repair unit that I can't use right now. Which is like basically how you heal in this game. This part I love. This part reminds me of Project A-ko. Because there's a part in the movie, which is, it's an old 80s, it's in like 1985, 84 anime that came out. And it's basically, it parodies a lot of different like animes at the time, like Fist of the North Star, Battleship Yamato, and things of that nature. And it's a really great comedy. I actually recommend the English dub for it. But at one point in the movie, aliens come down to abduct her friend, and they're shooting missiles down at her, you know, and just part of the attack, and we're fighting back. And she starts hopping up the missiles to get to the spaceship, which I thought was fantastic. I hit the button. Oh, I hate this game. I swear there are input drops on this game. I hit the Y button to slide underneath. So remember I tried playing this for about 20 minutes when I bought this last year for like $5 from GameStop. And one of the things I did, like I kind of noticed, like I stopped playing and went back to the PC version to play instead, was it was just, I was having like dropped inputs, and there was also some bizarre slowdown I was hitting too. It's not unplayable, but when you're used to something running really well and then not having it do that way, it kind of throws you off. Like how if you play Bayonetta 1 on PC, that is a locked 60, even on like an 8-year-old PC, but then if you play it on Xbox 360, you'll probably start dropping stuff because you're not used to the frame rate stutter. A lot of people like 2, but personally I loved number 3 because they put in that dodge mechanic where you can, like, you know, kind of push them away if you time it right. And then you had Nemesis chasing you around, which just freaked me out. So I like 3 the best personally of the classic PlayStation trilogy. A lot of people like 2, I understand why, but for me I'm just like, I like the first game and 3 the best. I love the Renegade for Life episode on this game too. It's pretty good. Yeah, I have the I remember the first remake of Resident Evil, because you gotta think like how many remakes have there been of it. The GameCube one blew me away, because I mean that looked so much better. It was really shocking, and then the new HD remakes are built off of that version on top of it, so the remake is pretty good. And speaking of Resident Evil, that's another odd thing. I need to pop my joints real quick. So, PlayStation Classic, since we're on the PlayStation, things of that nature. PlayStation Classic, one of the games that's on it is Resident Evil Director's Cut, or the DualShock Edition. So, it's the Resident Evil Director's Cut, which is what they put out when the DualShock controller released, but it's for the PlayStation Classic, which does not have DualShock controls or support it. Why did they put that version in? It's like, makes you question more stuff. I mean, they're trying to cash in on Nintendo's success for the mini consoles and just shot themselves in the foot. Yeah, exactly. You know, the GameCube version was a remake of the first game, you know, and then the newest one, you know, the last remake for it is, you know, a remake of the GameCube, because it was good. I mean, they did most of the legwork. It's even better. So I was thinking, like, how good is it still compared to the GameCube? But it's pretty, it holds up still well, the GameCube version. Why am I jumping? I'm just hitting the X button to slash.
Prime Minister.
Actually, I'm looking at it, I don't own Resident Evil. I have like I have a burned copy of Nemesis. But I don't think I have Resident Evil 1 for PlayStation, which is kind of odd. You are the worst barber ever! Yep. I bought the GameCube actually to... 1, it was on sale, and 2, it had Metroid Prime bundled with it. My brother had a GameCube. He bought it at launch, so... I have been playing the GameCube for a while. I knew what I was getting into. But... it was alright. I mean, that's why I got there, but... the best purchase for me definitely were the Resident Evil games on the GameCube. Those were the most fun I ever had on it. The Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 4. Twin Snakes, actually, I've decided when I get done with 4, I'll probably play... It's either 4 or 5, I'm not sure. I'll play Twin Snakes, just maybe all the way through, just for laughs. Because the cutscenes in that game are so freaking absurd. It's hilarious. It's a parody, the entire game.
No.
So that should be fun. I think I don't know if I'm gonna do that when I get completely done with the 1 through 5 or before then. Oh, it's worse than the Matrix, man. It's wants to be. I used to compare it to the Matrix 2, but then I saw another cutscene. I'm thinking, this is like cheesier than trying to ape it. Because if you tried to ape the Matrix, you could actually pull it off decently, but this is like even crazier than that. It's like if you combined Matrix with like a John Woo film, which of course I know that's what Wachowskis were trying to kind of do with the gunplay scenes and things like that, but I mean, like, but like even worse, like even more hammy. Oh, I feel it. I got this guy. He's going down. All right, Sam. Time to die.
Don't be shy.
I'm doing great. I got him. You see how I hit his sword really hard with my body? It's a very, very hard skill to pull off.
And not half bad. Still.
How long is this tunnel?
Your technique lacks something.
Body mass index error? BMI error? What? Now, one of the things I think it might have been you or someone else who had mentioned, because I brought up the subject of Twin Snakes before on a previous Metal Gear Solid stream I was doing. Pardon me. And they mentioned like that the script was different.
You deny your weapon its purpose.
Turns out that actually the Twin Snakes retranslated the game and did it right. One of the things that Kojima was not happy with was the translator for Metal Gear Solid 1, because he changed things around. So actually Twin Snakes is the most accurate English language version of that game, script-wise.
My sword is a tool of justice.
By the way, that's like debilitating, excruciating pain. That's not something like you just wink and go, oh, my eye hurts. It's like, that is severe pain. And it's not like, ow, my eye hurts. It's like you have the worst migraine ever pain. Because this optic nerve is right there, and it's just like straight into it. Yeah, it was kind of weird how they didn't have the accents. But I think that they were two different actors they couldn't get back, because I think they got everybody back but those two actors for the voice, because everyone else came back to do it. David Hayter, the voice of Otacon, everybody came back, but I think those two were replacements. But why they didn't attempt to do an accent like they had before is beyond me.
You're almost clear of the tunnel. Just hang on.
Gotta try hard on that.
Why is my arm still bleeding this much? Another random Wurzel trivia moment. If you ever lose a limb, you don't hemorrhage blood like a fountain like that too bad at first. I mean, you are still in great danger of bleeding out. You need to apply a tourniquet ASAP. But you pretty much go into shock right away, and you don't bleed too much at first. So, if something like that were to unfortunately happen to you, get a tourniquet on quickly, because the blood will start very quickly. Dude, Nimix. Subscribing for some reason. I am honored.
lucky devil.
There you go.
Kept you waiting, huh?
I don't know. I will blame the holiday spirit of Thanksgiving. Or do what I learned in management very early on. Management skills 101. Blame whoever's not here. So, my friend Patrick Tamu is not here. I blame him. It's entirely his fault. I don't know why he made you type ice plug either. That seems very rude of him. I would probably fire that guy.
Down you go! Flares!
I don't have an emote. I'm like an affiliate, but I have not really put any effort into my streaming at all. Except for like the past 2 months. Because like that's why I've started like adding in videos and pre-stream and things like that. I've put a little more effort into it, but I don't have emotes or anything because one of the things I tell people not to do is like to donate or subscribe because I just do this for fun. It's like it's nice, it's appreciated, but I'm just like, it's cool. But I appreciate it though. Like I said, you were the very first subscriber I've ever had. So I might actually have to start putting some effort into this. More effort. Look what you've made me do. This is your fault now, Nimix. I'm not blaming Pat for this anymore. This is your fault. Hey! Oh, I'm not that good. Tonkatsu would be good. Oh, let's see. My family, my aunt is the one who's like doing all sorts of stuff for Thanksgiving. Everyone's gonna go over to her house for lunch. They call it dinner. I don't know why, but she calls it dinner. It's something her mother did, or my grandmother technically. So we're all gonna go over to her place. So we're actually gonna cook one of the turkeys at my place and bring it with us over to there. She's only like 2 miles away, 1.5 miles. Cool. Sounds like you're done for sure this time then. Japanese curry, go to Asian Market Ton in Vermont. Ooh, like I said, Vermont's my favorite. Vermont curry is the best, in my opinion at least.
So far, so good. I've got a clean visual.
But yeah, they do turkey, the whole shebang, and with everyone coming from, like, my sister's coming tonight, my brother's coming tonight, they're all bringing their dogs, so it's gonna be crazy, and the families too, so we're tightly packed and full of crazy dogs running around. I had to stock up on food too, so I'll be making lasagna, just basically try to feed like an army just about, so I'll be making lasagna for everyone to eat. Probably do some General Tso's pork, and fajitas as well. We bought like $60 worth of good skirt steak, so we will be eating well. I'll be doing a lot of cooking.
MCFC electrolytes once you slice them open and extract their fluids.
They're terrorists. I was planning on that anyway.
Oh, and their left hands, if you please.
Just like George Lucas, I have the fetish for the hand removal.
The combat data stored on holographic memory, typically located in the left hand. That data is very valuable. I am authorized to offer you upgrades and services in exchange for it.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is, like, Thanksgiving, for me, used to be a vacation away from the family. I liked it because, like, basically, either I wasn't living at home, so I had an excuse not to go, or if I was at home, I had to work, because I'd be managing, you know, electronics at Walmart, you know, my job there while I was living in Michigan. So my family would be gone for a week. I had the house all to myself. It was nice. I enjoyed it every single year, just being by myself. It was my vacation from them. But then I moved to Erie because I was living in Michigan, as I mentioned, and they had 60% unemployment after the economy crashed because all those auto workers were out of a job all of a sudden. And that's the biggest industry all throughout Michigan. So I had to come to Erie, Pennsylvania, got a job within 2 weeks of being here, and my family is all from here. It's where I was born. My family's all here, so I have to go along. I get dragged along with everything.
leader of the occupation forces, an extremist linked to both the
They're not bad, but I'm just like, okay. Gotta be social.
And his arms supply.
Okay, don't care anymore. Basically, you're just going to kill somebody. That's all you need to know. Well, I'm trying to get my back fixed. Rule number 1, and then trying to get to Texas. Because that's where all the tech industry jobs are.
Contact us on Codec if you have questions.
Can't remember if there's anything on the beach. Kitty! Kitty cat! Kitty sashimi. No. You actually cannot kill the cat at all. Not that I tried or anything. Oh, invisible wall. Just seeing, I thought there was something down here. I guess I was mistaken. Like some kind of, whoa, disappearing. It was a ghost barrel. This beach is haunted.
Bastards are using stealth cable to ambush you. Nice try, but it won't do any good against a state-of-the-art cyborg like you, eh? To parry incoming hits, throw out your own barrage of light attacks while your foe is on the offensive.
So, their spinal fluids give me courage. Oh, wrong button. Try it again, buddy. Come on. Do it again. Hurt me more.
Parry at just the right moment to deflect an attack and expose your enemy to counterattack.
Doctor, what's your full name? Dr. Buckseaton. Well, that'd be cool. You haven't streamed in probably over a year, I think.
Had your fill?
Yes. My blade is sharp. Ooh, Zandatsu. Which is, if you do not understand Japanese, which is like most people, and I just happen to be a giant weeaboo, so I taught myself Japanese years ago. Zandatsu is like taking cut, which basically means you take it and grab it, or take it to cut it. I actually got in trouble with one of my last jobs because worked in a call center, and we had basically one of the things we did is we did like lots of inbound calls. It was all inbound calls from a job that I had, and one of the things we did was credit card processing for a company I will not name, but they are one of the biggest ones in the entire world. So I actually had a call from a guy, and he ran a sushi bar, and one of the instructions, because the card that he was trying to authorize and it wouldn't go through from, it was like stolen card, you know, declared stolen type deal. And the instructions from the credit card company was take the card and cut it up. You know, it's like, whoa. So I was trying to tell him, like, you need to take the card that you have and cut it up, and he didn't understand what it was. But I knew he spoke Japanese, so I said, Zandatsu. And he was like, oh, hi! It's like he understood exactly. So I didn't think anything of it. You know, the restaurant guy was very happy that I fixed them up, took care of the problem. And then quality department comes out and they're like, we need to talk about that call. I'm like, why? They're like, you can't speak any foreign language at all on the phone. It's like, it all has to be in English because we don't know what you're saying and the clients don't know what you're saying. Even though you know Japanese, like, you can't, you have to speak nothing but English. I'm like, okay.
Excellent, Ryder.
So that was one of those things that's like, wait a minute, I'm getting penalized for this. It's like, yep. And they gave me, when I became like a supervisor for him as well, I had a guy speak Spanish, you know, to help out the customer, and I was like, they're like, you gotta write him up. I'm like, this is the stupidest thing ever. It's like he's helping him out. I understand Spanish. He didn't say anything inappropriate. He kept it all business related and just translated the best he could. It's like, this is ridiculous. And it's a policy they kept right until they went under. I wonder why.
Raiden, take that. You can. You're.
I mean, I can understand if you have like an entire call like that, but I mean, they didn't have a foreign language line like at all. They were just like, well,
What are you doing here?
This area is off limits.
I mean, they didn't have like a foreign language option at all. And then if they were to do any type of like translation, you had to call out to somebody. I can't jump on the bus? And have them translate it instead because that was their translating job. So they're like, the company was paying like an absurd amount of money just to have like a translator. We had people who could speak the language that we were needing to do on site already, which was just ridiculous. Oh, that's not good. Hear that squeaking? This is my brand new wireless controller. That's not good. How do I use items in this game? Let's try the back button. Customize. No, don't customize. Okay. That's blade mode. D-pad? Well, that's the AR. Okay, left and right. There we go. Okay, so I can put on recovery. So that way if I screw up, I can get saved somewhat. And that's the other problem I have about this game, about why I don't like it, is that it doesn't tell you how to do things. Like if you get moves, like you can buy special moves, it does not tell you how to do them at all. It's not in any manual anywhere. I had to go online to find out how to do the things I was buying. Like, hey, here's this cool attack. How do you do it? Good luck. It's like, really? So I think the right trigger or the right bumper is the button for using an item. Hey look, geckos! Whoa, camera, come on. I said hit from things off screen is pretty much something you run into quite a lot in this game. And now I'm stunned for some reason? What? Well, if you insist, but I mean, maybe we should go to dinner or date. Get to know you first. Yay, he's finally dead. And I will be forced to fight more of him.
Very good, Raiden. Now, keep heading for refinery.
Okay. Some British pounds, I'm sure. I thought there was like a RPG around here. There it is. By the way, RPGs are very, very slow. And not that effective. Why did it drag me off the building? Oh, this game. It's like no idea where I'm at. Okay, cool. So that's basically like the best way to heal yourself is like you gotta try to time get your button presses down in order, slice them, hit these like little spines, rip them out, and that's pretty much how you keep healing yourself throughout battle. And that was undodgeable. Where did you come from? That guy just spawned in, or was that crazy? Yep, I plan on playing at least like one stream or so, like not like going all the way through, but just like playing it once. You know, playing at least like Metal Gear 2, which is definitely the better one. Everyone's played Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear 1. There we go. Get rid of this stupid thing. So I mean, everyone's played like Metal Gear, at least the Nintendo port, which is, it's different, of course, from the MSX version. But I definitely plan on playing Metal Gear 2 for the MSX, which didn't come out to the States for quite a long time. I remember emulating it probably around 1997, 98. Either, yeah, probably around 99 or 2000, around that range, because that's when emulators started to really kind of come into it. Which is like, it's so crazy to remember like when emulators first started showing up, like Super Nintendo emulators, and like how they were like so wonky and just like barely ran anything, and the games were super glitchy, like they didn't know how to do transparencies for a while. But that's when I played like Metal Gear 2, which had like, you know, the Mel Gibson portrait and Dwight D. Eisenhower as the Colonel for some reason. Which, unfortunately, those have been removed from the subsistence version of the game, which I will be playing it on. Yeah, exactly, because they're on there, but of course they changed the portraits because they figured, Mel might sue. Which I don't think he would, because he didn't sue after all that time anyway. I thought I saw... Did I get that already? No, I guess I saw wrong. Oh, there it is. Knew I saw. Oh, that frame rate. RPG will come in handy somewhat. A little bit later on. And I go running off the building. Riding, get up there, you suck. This item better be worth it. The item better still be there. Healing, okay, good enough. Alright, B. I like the Metal Gear collection simply because it's the games remastered, like 2 and 2. I don't really care for. I'm kind of neutral on it.
From the frequency, most likely
But I do like the fact that at least Metal Gear Solid 3 was up to 60 frames per second. Because Metal Gear 2, I think, on the PlayStation was 60. It's been a long time since I played the original PlayStation 2 version I own. But I know for sure that Metal Gear Solid 3, was definitely 30 frames per second. Who saves my game? I think it's Courtney.
You're looking good on our
Okay, so it was 60. Yeah, but 3 was like such a graphical powerhouse that they had to drop it down to 30 in order to make it, and that wasn't a solid 30. That would go down to 20 to 15 at points.
Yep.
Save, yes. At least you're not Rose, so.
And save complete.
Copy.
And
I keep
Okay,
asking
you
for
are
it.
Rose. Shut up.
You
I wonder if one of the requirements for making this game when they took it over, because Kojima kind of realized he couldn't do it. He came up with the idea and went, oh, I can't think of a story or anything to go with this game. And Platinum got involved and took over. I wonder if one of the requirements is said, hey, you can do this franchise, but you have to make long-winded codec calls.
Greetings, cyborg.
Now this part I don't understand, because I fight this thing and I murder it and then it's your companion. So is it the same one that we reprogrammed after I blew it into like a billion pieces, or do we have our own robot dog thing? It's always kind of confused me. I don't know exactly what's going on with it.
And you are? I am IF prototype LQ84I.
That just rolls right off the tongue.
Interface prototype. All autonomous UGs feature high-level onboard artificial intelligence. An additional prototype interface enables verbal communication.
Oh, it's an AI, so that's simple. All you have to do is just say something like, everything I say is a lie, including this,
Okay, then.
but I tell the
What's
truth
meaning of
always.
life? Why are we here?
So am I telling the truth or lying? And then I'll just self-destruct like anything I've ever seen before when it tries to get itself out of a paradoxal loop.
That's it? Pretty simple thinking for such a mighty intellect.
I may analyze orders, but I may not disobey them.
Instead, I may dull my chainsaw by running it into the asphalt.
I must destroy you.
What good is an intellect if you can't use it?
Your taunting is pointless. Exterminate.
So you parry this thing, and unfortunately a lot of times it just throws it like completely out of range. I said right there, like, parried him, but he jumps back, so you can't, like, counterattack right away. You have to keep chasing him down. I'll shrug it off. Whoa, camera, come on.
Use your intellect.
It's like right there I'm stuck. I can't do anything. I'm in a stun loop. So usually I die to this guy once and then the game like relaxes. I don't know why that is. Why did it not grab? What? Who does number 2 work for? So I remember when this game had a block button, it was so much better. It was fun. It wasn't too bad of a game then. It just suffered from the pacing issues that it has instead.
Use your intellect, evade my blows.
Oh good, a gecko. I never understood why they call them geckos when they obviously make cow sounds. Oh, it finally let me do a counter move. Sweet. It's like I can't see where he's at, so I can't parry. And I'm using the lock-on on him too, so... So it gave me the quick kill option, or somewhat quick kill, but it didn't do it. Nope, it still wouldn't. God, this game just drops crap constantly. At least on the Xbox 360 version. I have heard that the PlayStation 3 version is better. And like I said, PC, I definitely know for sure, doesn't have a lot of these problems. How is he still talking? It's like Shakespeare. Cut off the head, talk for another 2 acts.
I know about freedom.
Freedom isn't free. It's a hefty fucking fee. Alright.
Right. You need to...
Yes.
Roger that.
I want PM if the...
I'm Panthini X.
You're right. Ha,
Oh.
please.
Alright, there we go. Back up to full health. There we go. I remember watching like the very first previews of this game, like when actually like the announcement trailer, when it was still supposed to be a Kojima game, and there were no robot soldiers; they were all humans, and you were just slicing and dicing them ruthlessly. And then I guess somewhere along the lines, I said, "Well, this isn't going to be able to sell. We're not going to be able to do this in other countries that are sensitive about decapitations and things like that. So we got to change up the robots." That's what I'm guessing, at least. Physics! Ah, yes, the helicopter fight. Ugh. You have to rely on your RPGs a lot, so... not the best. Ooh, but I have a stinger. So you can stun it. What? Oh, it's making me do something cinematic. Okay. This is like, it's dead. Whenever you see it like turn light blue, then it's all it's dead, whatever it is you're trying to kill. Not sure if there's other items around here. I remember that was there. Nope, that's it. Okay. Continuing forward on the game that I'm not a fan of. And the thing is, too, there's not like a whole lot of exploration either in this game. It's very, very linear. I would have liked a little bit more open worldness, like open worldness, I guess. If I can try to say things correctly, not guaranteed.
We'll fill out the paperwork later. No, please, I will do anything.
Anything you say? And later on, like after this level, you can actually get like 120, 140, I think you can go up to like 200 in health. But this is pretty much all the game is, really. It's rather straightforward. I remember early on too, when you do your blade mode like this, I shouldn't do it too much because it's draining, you can actually, I think the original instructions were to use the right analog stick, so you had to like position it how you wanted it, like left or right, and then try to swing using the same stick, and it's just awkward as heck. And then like after the first patch, they're like, oh, you can just press X and Y instead. It's like, thank you. That is a lot better. You know, X for horizontal, Y for vertical.
So that's where they're holed up.
Some kind of electronic lock on the gate.
Most likely it opens only perhaps.
I need to backtrack, find a guy who has the key code for this, and chop off his left hand because this game has a George Lucas fetish.
Hurry and get that hand right.
If you don't believe me, if you don't know what I'm talking about, George Lucas, all of his Star Wars films, somebody loses a hand. I mean, Quentin Tarantino has a foot fetish. If you didn't know, go back and watch his films again, and you'll suddenly notice it. Because I've ruined that forever for you now, but George Lucas has a hand removal fetish, for sure. And Jar Jar. We don't talk about Jar Jar.
Bravo! Excellent work. There was classified data embedded in that hand. It appears that man underwent modification at the Patriot facility, just as you did.
Wasn't that great? I don't know how that helps me. We're just stuck in a parry battle. No, give me that stinger. Oh, God. You can do multiple as well. Like, if you have to catch two people, you can get both their cores as well, which is kind of tricky to do. I remember when this game came out, like, or actually it wasn't out yet, but it was in preview stage, and like you're seeing it at like E3 game previews and stuff. Like IGN sent somebody to play it, because of course IGN would do that. And I don't know who they send to record footage for like video games, but they always pick people who are like highly incompetent, have never played a video game to save their soul, and they're the ones who go and record the footage. It always blows my mind. Like, this guy was like, he was previewing the game, he was complaining that it took forever to kill anybody, and like, we were watching, like, you could see his video review, he's doing the blade mode, he's doing this thing for everything. It looks cool, but it does no damage whatsoever just about it. It's just a finisher at that point. It's something you do to finish off an enemy, not fight them all the time. And then, of course, you had the famous Dean Takahashi episode with Cuphead, where it took him a good 5 to 6 minutes to get through a 30-second tutorial. What's this? I don't remember what this is. Oh, unlocked a VR mission. Okay, neat. Nope, nothing in here. I saw something glimmer.
So get to the plan. First, make your
Grenades, which are useless. The other thing, like I said, I know this is like a Metal Gear tie-in, is what they're trying to do for this game, but then you have stuff that just doesn't make sense. Like, you have alerts, like, you know, alert, caution, like you would for Metal Gear Solid, but it doesn't make sense because you usually get into combat anyway, so you're not in any real risk. If you trigger an alert, all you have to do is just fight guys. So this game doesn't really focus on stealth much at all. I would have to say Metal Gear Survive. From everything I've seen and heard of it, that would definitely be Snake's Revenge. For those who do not know what Ronnie is talking about, Snake's Revenge was the made-up sequel to Metal Gear Solid, or Metal Gear 2. I keep wanting to say Solid because those are the games I play. But it was not at all. It was basically, they made up their own game for it. They did not try to port over or even adapt the MSX games at all like they did with the first one. Like, even Kojima pretty much disowned that game. He's like, no, I have nothing to do with that whatsoever, and I don't consider it a Metal Gear game, and that's like biggest insult ever. But Metal Gear Survive was just Konami trying to cash in on assets and make money after they fired Kojima. And everyone saw right through it.
Those I have. That woman.
Well, he's gonna die. It is 90 degrees. Why I wear hat? I like the fact that she knows you're there. She turns around and looks at you like, hi. She tried to kiss me from afar.
Raiden, what's happening? Your heart rate spiked.
I thought I saw Rose.
Yeah, I just dodged a bullet. All right, I'm heading for the refinery.
Raiden, I hate masonry. Just makes me angry. Indestructible trash cans of the future. Something up here. I said it's like alert, so it doesn't really do anything because I just kill this guy and then we're okay. And the alert doesn't even count down to 0, it just goes away. I tried watching that movie years ago and I just could not get into it. It's like, just cut this thing short and not deal with it. Geckos are not fun to tango with. Okay, somehow I magically jumped on top of it. We'll run with that. Got a repair unit or something. We had, you know, David Hayter's in it, but it's just like, it struck me as like, I was just bored a lot of it, trying to watch it. I know I've had friends who were just like, really got into it and loved it. I'm just like, not for me. Which a lot of things really aren't for me, because I'm a real stick in the mud. That guy is dedicated. I've literally disarmed him. Like, it's not letting me murder him. Go figure. Pretty much. I think there's a cardboard box around here, because yes, the cardboard boxes do make a return in this game. BG. I thought there was. I guess maybe I may have missed it. Because the second level there is like a little stealth section you can do.
We intercepted call for backup during your last fight. The caller's position is on your solid.
So basically a helicopter comes and I can fight it or I can just keep going forward.
It is your choice.
You can needlessly lower your health before a boss fight. Your choice.
Right. The cliff is just ahead at the end of the old city. Beyond that is the refinery's backyard.
So what? It's a sheer drop? The refinery's not connected to the city at all?
No, it was only built 2 years ago. There should be a narrow path around there that leads to the plant. It is protected by a fence, but probably you can cut your way through.
Probably.
Don't get cocky. Most likely it is Desperado running security down
Desperado.
there.
Does this mean Antonio Banderas will be there as well? I hope he is.
Right. You need to say?
Look out! It's a mariachi!
Did you catch all that? With
Yeah, I've seen. No, those.
cold?
Yeah.
Of course. What about?
Probably.
Alright, nothing up here. No. Yeah, you can go running around the cliff, but let's just take a little run. Okay. Go figure. Oh no! Scarabs. Just got introduced to these little annoying dudes last night in the stream. Metal Gear Solid 4, which I am making my way through still. Tomorrow's stream you definitely want to watch if you are a fan of Metal Gear Solid, at least the first one, because it's Mission 4, which is where you go back to Shadow Moses. Basically the first location, so it's a lot of fun to hit that level. That's why these guys are annoying. They just get right on top of you, do not get off. Japanese curry is good. I mean, if you're gonna have a craving for something, might as well go with something good. Take that ventilation.
His team must be in here. Find him.
This game has like a serious problem with jumping. Certain things you can run up, others you cannot. And if you manage to parry one, like one of these geckos, you can do an instant kill on it, which is kind of weird. Oh yeah, it's dirt cheap. For sure.
Ryder, wait. There are active IR sensors in the area. Part of factory security, no doubt, but the enemy may be using it.
So you're saying I should run through it like, you know, I'm about to win a race. You got it. See? Aren't you proud of me, Dad? Yeah, Japanese, I don't know why, they actually will put stuff like that in their curries, like Worcestershire sauce. Or Worcestershire, or however you want to pronounce it, which nobody can agree on it. Even the place where it was made originally in England. I would say skip that, but instead use fish sauce because it has anchovies in it, which is basically almost like fish sauce, so just go for the real thing at that point. You know, don't use as much fish sauce. I mean, don't like do a one-to-one substitution for it. I mean, that would be horrid. Oh, I thought he was gonna shoot his gun. I was not aware that was a rocket. Yeah, like I said, it's close enough. So if you want to keep it more of like a authentic, like Asian flavor, at least.
Classified Patriot information was in that man's holographic memory.
Gets to 70, it's like, it's close enough, you know what's gonna happen. We'll keep the energy going. So I'm about to get into a boss fight pretty soon. Usually, when a game wants you to go somewhere, try going somewhere else instead. You usually find stuff. And that was Wurzel's game tip number 3. This totally doesn't look like an arena for a boss fight. Curry's good, but I have not made it in like 2.5, 3 years.
I was wondering when you'd come, Jack the Ripper.
Because it has gluten in it, and my mom is a celiac, so she would not be able to eat it. And then it'd just be myself and my dad, who we've both had weight loss surgery, so last time I made curry, I was living by myself, and I ended up eating it for a week. And I made like a small amount. I made a half batch, it still lasts that long.
And you. Your reputation precedes you. Liberian, but white as snow. A natural born
yeah,
killer,
they tend to be white there.
as a child.
That was a long time ago.
I was born in Algeria myself, you know. I'm only half French.
And what's the other half?
And?
Yeah, exactly. And where's the story going? Can we fight now?
So you see? Cut from the same cloth, you and I.
You don't know me.
I lost my whole family.
No. It's you don't know me. That's how you're supposed to say it, right? And I mean, I'm embarrassed for both of us.
I butchered those fuckers. My family's killers. That's when I realized I am a killer too, and a good one at that. I slaughtered dozens in Iraq, in Afghanistan. I'd found my calling.
Proud of that, are you?
What happened, happened. To be honest, I found it quite dull. My enemies fell like domino, one after another. Not once did I feel threatened. I was adrift, without challenge, without purpose, At times, I even envied my prey. At least they had a cause to die for. And then, I met him.
Who?
He.
And I knew what I had been missing. His ideals gave my life.
Trying to remember how the exchange went with the waiter in Samurai Cop.
What are yours?
He killed himself. Who? He. Ooh, that guy. Him. It's like, what? I'm trying to remember. It's drawing a blank on me right now. It's not important anyway. But Samurai Cop is a funny movie. It's one of those so bad it's good movies.
And if I must kill to protect.
I actually had the Blu-ray of it signed by the cast members, which is one of my pride and joys.
It seems we have less in common than I thought.
I'll take that as a compliment.
If you would kill for your ideals, then surely you are ready to die for them.
She is really handy. Discount Dr. Octopus. I will say though, the boss music is pretty good for this game. You want more than you run away. Okay. It's like trying to parry, but it's not having it. Interesting. Just see what would happen. Just getting rocked instead. The game is locking me onto her. I'm not wanting to do that. I want to get rid of this annoying dude first. It does. I mean, the game seriously does. You get parts where there's not really too much you can do. It's like these annoying scarab guys just constantly get on you. You can't really shake them. Instead of having your weapons on like the backwards there, you gotta basically get into these menus instead. So this fight can go either one way, two ways. It can go really fast, or it can drag out. It should be giving me a kill option pretty soon. Tried to parry, but it jumped instead. There we go. If you don't get it like before when I was fighting the wolf, then you have to basically knock her all the way down to 0 instead of around the 9% or so. And if you've seen Terminator 2, you know exactly where this is going. But no, she will not be reforming to go chase against John Connor. I don't know, I'm not really sure. Possibly. But she is going to call me, because everyone calls you when they're dead in this game.
Your vitals are dropping.
I lost.
And that was actually the worst thing that the Terminator could have ever done, was actually shattering the T-1000. Because he was frozen solid. And yes, I just called an inanimate life form a he, but if they were to leave it solid, it would have taken far longer for it to defrost in order to come after them. But instead, by shooting it and shattering it in all the small little pieces, is they able to melt faster. So the best thing would have been to just leave it alone, which they could have been, you know, halfway around the world by the time it would have defrosted, or somebody would have found them.
What is this talk about?
The two won't go.
Je t'aime. Mister, you never...
She's not talking to you, idiot.
You killed her! You vile nuts! Murderer!
That's rich coming from you. It's overdose, I am. Surrender.
And if you don't know, friend, she actually said that she loves that guy. Which is interesting because he pulled a gun on her, so they have a very complicated relationship, I guess.
Shit.
Built with Russia money to make Russia money. It is no plan for outcasts. It is their prison.
But now, they will be free!
blew himself up.
I see. Time to get you out of there.
Time to get out of there before the authorities blame this on you and we have to get stuck with the environmental causes of, you know, damages of cleaning this place up. Go quickly. So now I have her weapon. Can't use it like a whip, but basically you can use it as a bow staff. It's still all the hands combined together. Yes, we will customize. So here's where I have a big problem with this game. One of the things is that you can get like moves, but it doesn't tell you how to do them. Pardon me. Go. Wonder if I have any bodies unlocked. Now, on the PC version I guess I got like a special edition because I have like a whole bunch of different skins that I can pick, or outfits, if you will. You have to buy the weapon you just got as well on top of it, which is nonsense. Skills. Here we go. So this, defensive, offensive, allows you to free step. It doesn't tell you how to do it at all at any point. Sky high, how to do any of these moves. So for this one, if I remember correctly, it's like a 360 spin move, but I had to go online to look all this stuff up to see how do I do all this. Rail parry. This is actually useful. This is like, for this one, if I remember correctly, you have to hit either left or right and your X button, which is like your light attack, and you'll like hop to the side and slash at them. You can actually abuse it to go through like these big humongous attacks, like they may have like a boss. You can actually, you'll phase right through it. So Thunder Strike, I actually have a guide pulled up telling you how to do these moves. So this one is down, up on your joystick, and then X in order to do it. So that's 10,000, might as well. Sweep kick, go all around in circles. What is this move? It's also another down up. Okay, so it's basically smash foes from above. I'll skip on that. Sky high. That is up, up, X. So it's like a, kind of like a, I'm trying to think what it was, like the Stinger in the Devil May Cry series, I guess. We'll stop with that. Life. Life enhancement, yes please. I already have that. What other enhancements can I do? Strength, sure. See, one more. Absorption. A reduced amount of blade mode. Sure, that would be better. Okay, so spend all the points I can do. Let's get out of here. So speaking of Hasta La Vista, I'm now in Mexico, or Mexico. And I know how to blend in with the locals, driving a very expensive sports car, it looks like.
So you got some kind of disguise lined up, right?
Yep, all set.
Hope so. You'd be a little conspicuous just walking the streets.
Relax, Kev. I'll blend right in.
That's his idea of blending in.
Yeah. Well, just get into the sewer system ASAP. Hopefully anyone who notices you will just mind their own business. You sure you want the K9000 there along for this one?
Okay, so it is a different
I
unit.
had the good doctor make some adjustments along with the repairs. Remote piloting and AI wiping have been disabled. So yeah, I say let's throw him a bone.
Wordplay. My exoskeleton resembles a canine. Canines enjoy bones. Amusing on 2 levels.
Let's go.
Let's run this guy over. Yep, flawless. I can't even tell them apart.
¿Quién es ese güey? ¿Un mariachi? ¿No? ¿Un cyborg? Ese sombrero. ¿Qué? Adios, amigos.
And for the record, yes, you can buy that outfit and play the entire game with it.
Vámonos ya.
I think it's after this level you can actually purchase it.
It's right. I'm in the sewer system.
All right, you're FY. Hell, we.
So
Yep.
Nope. Do we like
It's first. Oh,
black?
maybe.
So there's an evil scientist somewhere down here in the basement, and he's basically, you're trying to find his lair. That's it.
Sir, yes, sir.
Commence operation.
Alright, so let's save.
Can't believe Dole's.
Pretty. It's
You got.
you know.
Yeah.
If that.
House.
Well, the coot.
Sound.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Okay, Courtney is the new... She is the new Rose. So let's see. I don't think it's gonna let me do... Okay, so that's the one there.
Right. Unidentified UGs are patrolling the sewers. Exercise caution.
Okay, so what was the other move I had? Sky High, Headcracker... Okay, sweep kick, there it is. Okay, neat. And then you also have the new polearm you got as well. You have to go in here to this and equip. So that takes over your heavy attack, so you can still use your sword and then bust this thing out if you want. And I think you can do, like I said, I'm used to hitting that one for it, so I think you can do both main? No, you can't. So you gotta pick one or the other, but let's just stick with the blade for now. I have to say, this is like a really, really wide sewer. I am impressed with Mexico's sewers. I had no idea they were this huge. These guys are a pain in the butt. I do not enjoy fighting them whatsoever, and they are all over this level.
Better take out that UG quick. Don't want to attract too much attention down there.
Like, you try to parry, it's really bizarre moves. Tried to parry again, but it's a grab. Like, so you don't know if it's a grab or if it's a throw. And it's finally dead. But these sewers are just crawling with these guys, and they all take about this long to fight. So this is the level where you really start kind of wanting to do more stealth than straight off action. And that's where the game kind of takes a shift, definitely, where it's been more of the straight off action. There we go, let's get rid of that beeping for a second. And let's see, wrong button. Of course it was. Boop. Instead, but yeah, it tries to do stealth in this game, but this game isn't really designed for it, so in my opinion it doesn't work out too well. But regardless, we have reached the end of the stream for today. There's actually things I need to do. Like I said earlier, if you were not around, my family members are coming in from out of town. They'll probably be here in about an hour or so, and there's some other things I need to be doing. But I do appreciate everybody hanging out for, you know, the stream. Ronnie, of course, it's always good to see you in stream. Also Nimix with my first ever sub, which is congrats, hats off to you again. Always appreciate it. But I will be back streaming again tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't know when that is, just type it into Google. And Google will tell you exactly when that is for wherever it is you are in the world. You can also check me out on Twitter at Wurzel555. I usually post up there about an hour or two before I stream. If I'm going to be doing it, or if I had too many health problems or something comes up, I'll say I'm not going to stream. But if you're ever wondering, that's going to be it. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, I will be streaming. And I'll be doing Metal Gear Solid 4. I'll be getting back into that. We'll be doing Mission 4. As I've been telling everybody, definitely, if you like Metal Gear Solid 1, check this level out, because you go back to Shadow Moses, it's nothing but a pure nostalgia trip. I love this level the most. So hopefully I'll see you all then tomorrow. So thanks for hanging out, and see you then.